This ain't no handouts. No shortcuts. No middleman.
No middleman.
No middleman.
No middleman. Middleman.
No middleman.
No middleman. Middleman.
No middleman. No middleman, I get it direct. Pressure talk, I don't deal in the flex. Cut the line, I don't wait, I collect. If it's mine, I'ma claim my respect. No middleman, I move with intent. Boss moves only, every dollar was spent. No favors, no deals, no rent. Built from the ground, now the whole game bent. Started with a vision, had to cut the distractions. No handshakes, just results and reactions. They was talking plays, I was making it happen. Turn losses to losses, then flipped it to passion.
Disclaimer: this broadcast is intended for commentary, discussion, and entertainment purposes only. All topics and statements are based on publicly available information, including news reports, social media content, and third-party sources, which may include allegations or unverified claims. The views expressed are opinions and should not be interpreted as confirmed facts. This content is not intended to harm, defame, misrepresent any individual, organization, or entity. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah. No middleman. This ain't about one name. This is about the system. Listen, everybody points a finger at the face that they can see. But nobody asks who planted all the roots beneath the tree. Fame got a price, every contract got a fee. Sometimes what you sacrifice is who you used to be. Before the cameras, there was pressure. Before the labels, there was hunger. Before the spotlight found your talent, something else was shaping your wonder. Neighborhoods can raise a king, neighborhoods can build a cage. Every lesson that we learn eventually walks onto the stage. Some are groomed by people, some are groomed by pain. Some are groomed by chasing status, some by trying to escape the rain. The industry's watching, the environment's talking. Every choice that you make, every road that you're walking. Success got a price. Tell me, what did you pay? Did you climb to the top or lose yourself on the way? Who taught you that money meant freedom? Who taught you attention was love? Who whispered you'll finally matter when the applause started showing up? 21 said the city can't shape you, teach you survival before it teaches peace. When the streets become your classroom, some lessons never leave. The block can groom, the culture can groom, social media can groom, even the living room. Patterns become normal until nobody questions why. When dysfunction feels familiar, healthy starts to feel like a lie. We're not here to cancel people, we're here to understand. Because if you never study the process, you'll never break the plan. Power don't always force you, sometimes it invites you in. Sometimes it smiles while changing what you believe within. The industry's watching, the environment's talking. Every dream has a doorway. Be careful who's unlocking. Success got a price, don't take your soul to belong. Because if the road costs your identity, was the destination ever home? This ain't just about R. Kelly. This ain't just about Aaliyah. This is about every environment that teaches us who to become before we ever choose.
When people hear the word grooming, most minds immediately go to one story: R. Kelly and Aaliyah. A relationship that has been widely documented, debated, and examined for decades. But tonight, we're asking a different question. What if grooming doesn't begin with one person? What if the environment is already preparing someone long before they ever meet the individual who changes their life? Because before there is a producer, before there is a manager, before there is a record deal, and before there is fame, there is an environment. An environment that teaches you what success looks like, what respect looks like, what survival looks like, and what you're willing to tolerate. And sometimes what you're willing to become. So recently, 21 Savage spoke about growing up in Atlanta and how the streets can shape young people, how environment can normalize behaviors and expectations that outsiders may not fully understand. Whether we're talking about neighborhoods, social media, sports, Hollywood, the music business, politics, or even our own families, every environment teaches something. Some environments cultivate discipline, others cultivate dependency, some cultivate wisdom, others cultivate vulnerability. So tonight we're expanding that conversation. This isn't about just one celebrity, one victim, or one industry. It's about environmental grooming, the subtle, repeated influences that shape our beliefs, our decisions, and sometimes even our destiny before we realize what's even happening. So the question isn't just who groomed them. The deeper question is what environment made the grooming possible? Welcome to No Middleman, where the truth don't need a middleman.
Yeah. You're not rocking with the realest podcast in the room. No middleman. Souls. Soft rain. Uncle Plug. Let's go. No middleman.
Did indeed marry his protege, the 15-year-old singer Aaliyah Houghton. Kelly stated his age is 27, 2 years older than he previously claimed to be. And Aaliyah produced 2 pieces of ID that appeared to show her to be 18. The Detroit High School of the Performing Arts acknowledged that Aaliyah is, in fact, a 10th grade student there.
In 1994, a 15-year-old Aaliyah dropped her first record produced by 27-year-old R. Kelly entitled Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. He was literally playing in everyone's face. If you didn't watch my part 1 on this, do that first because it'll give you context as to how we got here in the first place. Spoiler alert, her family. This album comes out and almost instantly rumors start to swirl because R. Kelly is all over this album. He is all over this press tour, all over The Child. I mean, wherever Aaliyah goes, he is not far behind. And although her album is titled What It Is, and her first performance is for All That on Nickelodeon, a child's program. Oh, by the way. When asked her age in interviews, Aaliyah is told not to tell.
For the record, you are how old? That's a secret.
And why would that be? Well, the 15-year-old has a secret, and it's, I'm sure, an absolutely terrifying one for her to hold on to. The child is pregnant by a 27-year-old R. Kelly. And this was speculated at the time, but it was confirmed in 2021 during R. Kelly's trafficking trial, where his tour manager confirmed that Aaliyah was pregnant. And in response, these 2 grown men hatched a plan. First, R. Kelly's tour manager would bribe a local official in Detroit for 2 forms of fake IDs. These would state that Aaliyah was 18 when in fact she was 15 years old. They would then bring the girl to Chicago without any parental supervision and marry her off to R. Kelly. This move would be made so that R. Kelly could then authorize an abortion for Aaliyah without being charged for statutory rape. Can I just say, to know the laws well enough, to know that there was a loophole to get him out of these charges, it's incredibly telling. But this marriage stunt does not stay under wraps very long. I actually think it was Tori, who's very active here on TikTok and a friend of the channel, that was the first to obtain a copy of the license while working for MTV News, so they were actually the first to break it. Now, you and I are hearing this story and going, what the fuck? Both of those men should obviously be in prison. Not only rape, but fraud on top of it to get out of the rape charges. Like, surely once this was all brought to light, there were consequences, right? Well, yes, there were, but not for R. Kelly. In fact, the big question the media had was whether Aaliyah would face charges for presenting a fake ID to get married. The fake ID she was supplied with, she had braces when they met. Now, as far as Aaliyah's family's reaction, the reason he didn't go to prison for this, well, R. Kelly made a deal with them. That deal included the annulment and subsequent expungement of the marriage from Aaliyah's records, and R. Kelly sold the rights to his first 3 albums to her family in order for both them and her to stay quiet, which is why when you see interviews where she's asked about R. Kelly or asked about the marriage, it often looks like something like this.
What is the situation? Because we don't know.
It will let you know. To let you know. No, I want to let everybody know that it's not true. I'm Aaliyah, not Aaliyah Kelly.
They took the fucking money. And once again, Aaliyah gets no say.
So we're gonna stop it there. It's 5 minutes. She covers this very, very well. Shout out to Hot Girl History. We are gonna be coming back to her tonight to talk about another topic that has to do with this as well. But what is your thoughts about this, Rain? What is your thoughts about the R. Kelly Aaliyah case? Not case, but their situationship.
Their history and situation.
Yeah.
I mean, even though back in '94, when all this was going on, the internet wasn't as prevalent. It was really just starting up back in not even, I don't even think it was that. When did the internet become the internet?
I don't know.
94. I'm not gonna tell my age, but 94, I wasn't even a teenager yet. But I remember all that going on, and people questioning it, of course, and all the mystery around her age. The hair over the eye. They tried to. I thought that was all part of her image, anyways. The hair being over her eye, trying to maintain that mysterious thing about her, and not knowing everything about her and whatnot. With that being said, in regards to him marrying her, I do believe the family was paid off, because I don't think a parent in their logical right mind as a parent would allow that to happen without some sort of compensation. And I don't know if she ever expressed her thoughts behind it afterwards. I can't remember, bless her dead, bless her soul. Unfortunately, she died in that accident. But in regards to that, I would have never let my daughter do that. Fame, industry, any of that. My son. No, you cannot pay me to marry my child. And I think more so of, he may have wanted that guardianship over her, or her legal spouse over her, in order to make decisions for her when it came to the industry, in order to take her all over the country or all over the world, even without having to have her parents' parental supervision and permission as well. So he may want it. That might have been his ultimate goal. With knowing what we know now about his history, the reason why he's incarcerated right now, currently, and whatnot, it makes me question what his true intentions was. Still not gonna take away the musical genius that he is, because hey, if it still rolls, it still rolls. I still sing. It is what it is. Unfortunately, he is not a great man when it comes to these allegations and whatnot that he faced and has been convicted of. But with that being said, I don't feel like her parents would willingly do that without some sort of compensation.
Yeah.
Without him, and we're talking about grooming, without him grooming the parents. Because
that's what I was. Yeah.
What did you promise the parents? How did you coerce not coerce, but how did you coerce the parents into giving up their daughter? They're essentially giving you their daughter at a young age, and with you being in your late 20s, that's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. And for all the new people coming in, shout out to Too Tired to Sleep. We will get to the comments tonight. We are on part 2 of our series about grooming. We're breaking grooming down from different elements, from social grooming to industry grooming to environmental grooming. We're going to be breaking down different areas of grooming, just due to it actually came about with the Memphis shooting that happened with the mom, Miss Kendra Scott, who found the 20-year-old man under her 13-year-old daughter's bed. With that being said, you said something very interesting, Rain, because in psychology, social grooming is normally described as almost sweet, because it has 4 elements: attention, rapport, trust, and normalization. And if you paid attention to the first beginning of the video, it talked about the attention, right? Aaliyah wanted to go there. She was super young. They seen her talent. We're going to play another segment 2. Is going to kind of break this down even more, but then also building that rapport, right? Because like you said, for someone as parents to want to even take a payoff, there has to be some form of relationship built there. Trust
Mhm.
is also another element, relying on that person, confiding in that person. So I think it was a lot there. And then also it became a normalization, right? Because a lot of times we forget that we, the public, or even media outlets, right? We also contribute to grooming. Like allowing someone to sit there and not really answer a question and not try to pose the question in different manners, or to allow this person to continue to have this run, which almost normalized the lie, right? Like everybody knows, you even know as the interviewer who's asking it, but I mean, I understand like not trying to overstep your boundaries. She was hot at the time. You got one of the hottest
Mhm.
artists in front of you. You're not trying to ruin an interview. With that being said, I think in the early 90s, we were still so we still had a lot of the 1970s, 80s in us too, right? Because we know how what they call PDF files and all that stuff that kind of happened within the homes.
Mhm.
A lot of this stuff was normalized, right? Grooming was normal. A man marrying a extremely young woman was super normal. You guys are going
Yeah.
to see it again tonight, and especially just in different cultures, it was very, very normal. So I just thought it was very interesting because it is the case that most people think about. But we're going to show you guys another case, not a case, but another study tonight where like you're going to be, oh, yep, that is right, right? Because we only think about R. Kelly or certain people, but there's been a lot of grooming going on within the industry. So we just wanted to start off with that, man. We're going to get to some of these chats. I'm going to let Rain read those.
Hey, I-90, he said no internet in 94. Little Penny said, we got to stop pimping out our youth.
Yeah.
Too tired to sleep. Welcome in. Internet was around in 1994. Oh, so we got some conflicting information. Hey, Rue. He said, I think around 95 to 97, the internet came through.
Okay.
Somewhere along there, yeah, because I was in high school. Tom said, I hope we are not going to have a double standard tonight because if R. Kelly wasn't grooming her, he has to be the P word because if R. Kelly was Roberta Kelly playing with Genuine, this would be grooming.
You're right, Tom. You're right, Tom. I think that's an interesting question because if I'm not reading that wrong, he's pretty much saying everybody gave R. Kelly a label, but usually if it's a woman, we say they're grooming.
We talked about this some last night.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Too Tired said, I'm still playing R. Kelly music regardless. He can't.
Too Tired, go watch me and Rain. We did a whole R. Kelly Wednesday night R. Kelly listening party. So yeah, we still listening to it too.
Yeah, nobody can take away he is a musical genius. He made great songs.
Oh yeah.
Wrote, nobody will take away that, but unfortunately he chose to do other things.
Yeah.
Miles said greetings. Ooh, we didn't answer Miles' question last night, did we? The difference between the two M's.
Oh, we will. Thank you. Good.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Sharp.
Time. We apologize, Miles.
Yeah.
Time says, so a woman grooms the young boy, but the woman doesn't ruin the parents. But R. Kelly actually groomed the parents and Aaliyah. Wow.
Yeah.
I would say so. Muriel is in here. She said, hello, y'all. She put her plug emojis, the raindrops.
Muriel will be live tomorrow night, y'all. Muriel will be live tomorrow night.
Too Tired said, was it grooming when C Murder was cracking Monica? What's the age gap with C Murder and Monica?
Ooh, I'll look it up let me get you the next one. That's a good, let me look real quick. I forgot all about that.
About that, yeah.
C Murder, age, dating, Monica. Too Tired, you from the South? From the South? Because a lot of people don't know C Murder. Oh wow. She was legal age though. She was 18 years old, and C Murder was 28. But there was like a 9 to 10 year gap there.
Yeah. When I was 18, I was about 25, 26.
And they even said that it's important to distinguish that an age gap by itself is not evidence of grooming. So when the age gap is not something that's crazy, some people kind of look at it not to be grooming.
Right. Okay. Time says so. Aaliyah is a victim of her parents and R. Kelly.
Stay tuned. Stay
Stay
tuned,
tuned.
Ty. Stay tuned.
Miles said not to defend Kelly, but just a few decades earlier, girls were married as teens to older men.
Yeah.
That's what that's where child bride came from, didn't it? I-90 said we talking about a guy who said he would marry his mom. His upbringing, I would assume, played a role in his adult life. He also believed he was, I'm not gonna say that word, when he was young, a lot of trauma.
I-90, go again. Y'all go catch me and Rain's music show about R. Kelly. We actually opened up with a clip of R. Kelly in school when he was talking about his music teacher put him on stage to sing for the first time. And he said that day when he got all those applause, he wanted that feeling for the rest of his life. And that's what I was saying. That's what we're talking about too. Like, grooming can be something as small as the environment or the environment we create for a person that they now desire, that they're searching for that high for the rest of their lives, and they'll go to any stretch of imagination to get there.
Tom says, so Aaliyah's parents groomed her to want to be with R. Kelly, or did R. Kelly groom the parents to take a look?
Stay tuned, Todd. Stay tuned, Todd. Stay tuned.
Let's talk about it. And stay tuned too, because I'm gonna touch on this tonight.
Hey, Todd must wrote the show tonight. Sure.
Maybe so. Miles says, y'all good.
All good. We got you tonight, though.
Tom said one of my favorite R. Kelly songs is Forever. Yes, that's a good song. Muriel said there has been grooming since the beginning of time. Absolutely.
I definitely agree.
Too tired to sleep said, wait, so it's okay for a 28, 29-year-old to date an 18-year-old? We didn't say that.
We didn't say it was okay, but per the studies, they say that the age gap can sometimes make people not assume that it's grooming.
Miles said I was bumping Chocolate Factory last weekend. Hey, before the show is over, I'll put the link in the chat for our show, because TP2.com was from the front to the end. You don't have to do no skips. Hey, Ruth said so was Aretha Franklin too.
Yeah. Shout out to the chat, man. We appreciate y'all. We knew y'all would like this. We knew y'all would like this, man. Yeah. But Tom has already kind of not dictated, but he kind of predicted a lot of what's going to go on tonight. So we're going to start off with our first segment. As you guys already know what it is. It's the Radar with Rain.
Sovereign got Alabama grace all in the spirit. Yeah. Georgia roots in the soul every time you hear it. Yeah.
So, y'all, welcome back to On the Radar with Rain, where I break down some interesting stuff here and there across the internet and the world. And keeping with what we got going on with the celebrity groomings and whatnot. Tonight, I'm going to look back at one of the most controversial relationships in music history, besides R. Kelly and Aaliyah. We're going to take it way, way back, not simply to revisit a scandal, but to also ask a much bigger question. When does influence become grooming? This story isn't just about judging history by today's standards. It's about understanding how our understanding of power, influence, and child protection has evolved over time. So, back in the late 1950s, y'all, Time pulled up the segment for y'all already. He said Jerry Lee Lewis wasn't just another musician. He was one of the biggest stars in America. Known as The Killer, Lewis helped define the early sound of rock and roll with hits like Great Balls of Fire and a whole lot of shaking going on. He was touring internationally, earning significant money and becoming one of the most recognizable entertainers in the world by nearly every measure. So Jerry Lee Lewis was a man with extraordinary influence. In December 1957, almost 70 years ago, Jerry Lewis secretly married Myra Gale Brown. She was his cousin, though. She was 13 years old, and he was 22. At first, many people didn't realize how young Myra actually was. Early public statements reportedly suggested she was older, but then the truth emerged during Lewis's tour of the United Kingdom in 1958. Public reaction changed almost overnight. Concerts got canceled, promoters withdrew support, radio stations distanced themselves. His international tour collapsed, and although he continued recording music, his career never fully recovered to the level it had reached before the marriage and the scandal that he had going on. So today, this relationship is frequently referenced in conversations about grooming and power and balance. It's important, however, to separate historical facts from conclusions. Myra Gail Brown has said publicly over the years that she did not personally describe herself as being groomed. Her perspective is an important part of the historical record. At the same time, psychologists, child protection experts, and legal systems today understand far more about adolescent development than they did in the early 1950s. Modern discussion often focuses less on whether a relationship was accepted at the time and more on the imbalance between the people involved. One person was internationally famous adult with money, status, and life experience. The other one was a young teenager. So that imbalance is why this relationship continues to be studied decades later. So you can go ahead and play the video.
Myra Brown is only 12 years old when her older cousin Jerry Lee shakes up her life.
We were all mesmerized. You knew something great was coming out of this.
And he rocks the rest of the world.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
It's the birth of rock and roll and the beginning of a roller coaster for Myra.
Jerry would kiss me. I mean, it was nice, but I was confused. Jerry was so possessive of me, he did not want me to look another man in the eye. When the good times came back for Jerry's career, things went to hell quickly.
Really, sincerely, I would like to say one more time what a great honor it is to be back in London, England. Oh, this is where I first came over and I brought my little 13-year-old cousin with me. Remember that?
Myra Brown is only 12 years old when her older cousin Jerry Lee shakes up her life.
We were all mesmerized. You knew something great was coming out of this.
Yeah, so So what you think? Can a relationship be considered grooming even if at the time society viewed it differently? Or should historical relationships only be judged by the standards of their own era?
Oh man, I think you said something very important before we played the video.
Well, okay.
Can you go back and it was like probably the last 3 to 4 sentences. You talked about what happened when Jerry Lewis information came out though.
Let's see. When it came out.
Yeah. You said they canceled his tour. All that you.
Yeah. At first, many people didn't realize how young she was. Early public statements reportedly suggested that she was older. But when the truth emerged during his tour of the United Kingdom, reaction changed. Concerts got canceled. Promoters withdrew support. Radio stations distanced themselves.
So right there. So listen to what that community did when they didn't agree, compared to the R. Kelly, Aaliyah community. You see the difference? His environment, his community, his group of people, his listeners did not approve of that. So they acted accordingly.
Yeah.
Our group of people, we laughed at all. We let it go through interviews. We still allowed R. Kelly to be R. Kelly. Like we never tried to put a halt on what we felt was inappropriate. And that's why I say everything, like the consumer is the most powerful person in the world, because his consumer said, no, you're not going to do that. We thought she was older, bro. We don't support that. Hey, you on your own. You see what I mean? Like it affected him negatively, like in his pockets, everything.
Yeah.
Just imagine if somebody would initially halted R. Kelly. R. Kelly might still be with us making music and not behind bars. Because once you pay for something that people feel is incorrect, you know the consequences behind it. Everything he did never had consequences. He just got bigger. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about this throughout the series. And I think it's very important for people to understand that our environments are so important when it comes to grooming. Because a lot of things that we normalize is only because nobody corrected it. You see what I mean? So it's very interesting. Like when you read it, I was like, man, I ain't know that because I didn't even know about Jerry Lewis' story to be. So I learned something tonight. Yeah.
Great balls. Yeah. So history isn't just a record of what happened, it's also a record of what society understood and what it didn't. The Jerry Lee Lewis story reminds us that our understanding of childhood, consent, and influence has changed significantly over the last 70 years. Whether you see this case as a product of its time or as an early example of harmful power imbalance, it continues to challenge us to think critically about where admiration ends, where influence begins, and how society should protect young people. If you are catching this on the rewatch, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, leave your comments down below in the comment section, and let us know what you think. And
Suffering got Alabama. Suffering got Alabama grace all in the spirit. Georgia roots in the soul every time you hear it.
You know, that little pause threw me off. That pause
Yeah,
threw me off.
I was like, dang, I didn't say on the radar with rain. It hit me at the last minute. It's okay though. It's okay. I've been trying to do that for the Cubs, you know.
We're gonna get to y'all comments and then we're gonna move on to segment number 2 tonight. Great. That was great. I didn't know about that. So I love learning new information. So
Time says Souls of Thought. This content, y'all content is better than reality TV. I know people like drama and chaos. They hate listening to real reality take a standing ovation. We appreciate you, Tom.
We appreciate you, man. We know it's going to take some time. We understand this is the slow burn, man. It's a slow burn, but one of these topics going to hit and it's going to be to the moon, man. It's going to be to the moon. But we appreciate y'all who been here with us from the start. So
Miles said Prince, and I think he was another one.
We might be able to wrap him into this series somewhere.
The Wolf BG said TWR raindrops.
What's up, BG?
Time says so. I believe Jerry Lee Lewis knew that there were other rock and roll stars and other country stars and people in the business doing the same thing he was doing. It's not a one-off.
I can agree.
Time said big facts. Even though Jerry Lee Lewis sounded like the king of rock and roll, which is Little Richard. He said, shut up. Time says, Souls, you are 100%. You are spot on, my brother. The people back then were different than they are today. We have a society that let everything go data and let everything go back then. Penny says, standards of their own era. Only because couples married at 14, 16, great-grandparents, grandparents era because of small community and economic culture of the time, not to mention racial issues.
That's very true.
FBA Proud, welcome in. We appreciate you being here. He said, white people didn't make ish. Only thing they did was still patent and reinvent ish that was already invented. They didn't make rock. They didn't make country. They didn't make ish. They stole it. Appreciate you being here. Time said, just imagine if Jerry Lee Lewis was black dealing with a 13-year-old white girl. It would have been the opposite of Emmett Till.
Ooh, that would have been rough.
That would have been
rough.
He said, Souls, I don't know what 21 Savage is talking about, but I learned everything from my daddy. And he said he always repeats himself somehow, some way.
Oh, 21 is in here tonight too. Man, boy, Tom, you owned it tonight. Oh, our girl back.
Tracy, welcome back, Tracy. She said, where is my child? Where the F is my child support? You steady playing on YouTube when little Daquan needs summer school shoes.
Shout out to Tracy, man. Tracy, we don't know who he is, but I love it. I love it every time you come through. And Daquan name ain't changed yet, so you are on point with it, man. We appreciate y'all tonight, man. We got a lot of subjects to get to tonight, and we're gonna actually be going into our segment number 2. And it's going to answer a lot of the questions that Tom had in the chat, man. So here goes segment number 2.
You're not rocking with the realest podcast in the room. No middleman. Souls. Soft rain, Uncle Plug, let's go. No middleman.
1 second. She said Carter accident. Hey, Trey said the BBL payment's overdue. Hey, I told you not to get them things. They're gonna be leaking on you. You went to Dr. Miami, not Miami, man. I told you.
Tracy, we'll send over the cash app later on. All right. I know.
I love it. I love it. I love it, man. So we moving on
for all the little babies. We got you, Tracy.
That's a good one. Segment number 2. Can a child be prepared before grooming occurs?
Tracy.
So can a child be prepared before grooming? So here we go. This is going to answer a lot of what Tom had. So here we go.
Yeah.
Pictures of me. She said, yo, she's got this kind of sex appeal working. It comes through on the picture. I thought I was hot. You know, I had on a hot little dress.
How old were
I
you?
was living. I was 10. And I got
for hot at 10? I think you're supposed to be hot at 10. Are you?
We have to talk about Aaliyah. And yes, it's Aaliyah like Ali, not Aaliyah.
I say Aaliyah. Yeah. Like Muhammad Aaliyah. I got it.
A, because I think she deserves the same legacy and reverence postmortem as Selena, but B, her story is so important and it's become this sort of like urban legend when in reality it was all very public and clear. There were actually no secrets. That's what makes this story even more horrifying. I'm talking even before she was given to R. Kelly. And yes, I'm using the word given there. Aaliyah was born on January 16th, 1979 to Diane and Michael, otherwise known as Miguel Houghton in Brooklyn, New York. But the family, along with her older brother Rashad, would move to Detroit by the time Aaliyah was 5 years old. And this move was made so that the family could be closer to Diane's brother. His name is Barry Hankerson, and he had moved to Detroit back in the 70s after a failed football career forced him to pick a different industry, and he chose entertainment. So he becomes a producer and a manager, and that's how he winds up married to Gladys Knight. Only for a few years. They are both very important to the story. Now, in the countless documentaries and interviews I've watched on Aaliyah's life, I get the vibe that the family decided that she was going to be a star. Now, that's not to say she didn't enjoy singing and dancing from a young age. A lot of kids do, but it was her mom, Diane, that enrolled her in voice lessons and then started pitching her to people for their weddings, for charity events, taking her on auditions for community theater. I think it's important to note here that Diane herself was a vocalist. She had her own dreams of being an entertainer, so I think she saw her daughter as the chance that she never got. There's also a lot of sibling tension between Diane and Barry, but that will come back around later, trust me. But at this point, Barry is on board with this whole child star plan. He gets his now ex-wife, Gladys Knight, to use her connections, and she starts flying Aaliyah out to New York City to go on auditions. She'd even auditioned for the role of Judy Winslow in Family Matters, and while she didn't get that part, she would then audition for Star Search not that long after, and this is where things start to really change. Aaliyah is only 10 years old, and she absolutely crushes it with her rendition of Funny Valentine.
Don't change a hair for me, not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine, stay.
She's incredible and winds up taking home second place. This is where we get that anecdote that I played for you in the beginning where her mother says that she had sex appeal. I want to throw up even repeating that because she's a baby, but that gives you a little insight into what's being planted in Aaliyah's mind at this age, what she's expected to show up as. So after this, she auditions for several labels. She performs in concert alongside Gladys Knight, but no record label is signing her, which, I mean, makes sense. She's 10, like, hello? Well, Barry's getting impatient, so in response, he starts his own record label. This is called Black Round Entertainment in 1993. Aaliyah is 14 years old at this point. When I tell you this label is quite literally created for her, and I know a lot of people say that this was a subsidiary of Jive Records. That's not really true. The distribution deal with Jive Records didn't happen until Aaliyah's first album was ready to go. The connection that Hankerson had to Jive in the first place was through R. Kelly, who was an artist that Barry independently managed at the time. Are you still with me? In short, the label is still independent at this time, and it's shortly after creating it that Barry gets R. Kelly into the room with Aaliyah to produce her first album. This is 1993. R. Kelly was 26 years old and a rising star at the time. He wasn't huge yet, but he was definitely like the top male R&B new vocalist. And by this time, he is already gaining a local reputation for hanging around the high school and recruiting girls as young as 12 years old to be his backup vocalists. This isn't a secret, okay? This man was never not a pedophile.
People will say, well, why didn't anyone notice? The answer is that we all noticed. No one cared because we were Black girls.
What happens after this meeting? I mean, a lot. An explosive album with an insane title, a pregnancy and subsequent abortion, an illegal marriage, and the temporary...
So there you have it. That was video number 1. I made sure I left that out purposely so that we can have the discussion about this now. Can a child be prepared before grooming occurs? And I think this is a very vital topic right here, like a very vital segment, because we always look at the outcome and we never go back to the roots. And we talked about that last night at the closing of the show, is that a lot of these things are already being prepared for a person. You know what I mean? That's why, when you're like, that's why you see it a lot too. It's not just in entertainment. You see it in sports today. You'll see a kid now on YouTube doing drills at 10 years old, and the dad is such a great father, but is he really a great father? Does that really need to be put out to the world right now? Or is that something you wait till he gets older and then you can show the world when he becomes a big name and talent? Or are you grooming him so that he can become a prophet? Like, are our children becoming profit? Are they becoming charity? Are they becoming a money sign? And I really want to hear your opinion about this, especially being a mother as well.
So I think that some parents tend to, I'm going to say, groom their children into being who they always wanted to be and they never got a chance. Either they missed the opportunities to be that football player, baseball player, singer, star, actor, actress, soccer player, whatever it may be. There are some parents out there who do that, who push their children to be who they always wanted to be themselves, or what they always wanted to do themselves, but either their parents didn't push them, or they failed at it, or they just never got the opportunity. So the parent is making the opportunity available for their child to be successful or more successful than they are. And I think it could have benefits in a way, but when you're pushing that child to do something they really don't want to do, it's different. And whenever you have to do things that, as far as grooming or as far as being paid off to put your child in situations that they really shouldn't be in, then it becomes something different. Or you're trying to make profit off of your child,
Yeah.
So I think that it's just to answer your question, can a child be prepared before grooming occurs? I think the preparedness is being groomed by your parents to be groomed by somebody else. You're preparing your child. That's what they're doing. What was the definition of grooming again?
Oh, that's funny because I actually pulled them up. So let me see here. Let me go back to it. Before I give y'all the definition, I did look up also, because we use different phrases in today's time, right? A lot of people might call it now living through your child. You might hear that
There
phrase,
you
like,
go.
oh, you living through
Yeah.
your child. And it actually breaks down the two distinctions of the two. So living through your child, that's parents pushing a child towards achievements, career, sports, or activities to fulfill parents' unrealized dreams. The primary issue is that the child's autonomy is diminished. So living through your child takes away their autonomy. Grooming, it says the adult gradually builds trust, dependence, and compliance to make the child more likely to accept manipulation or exploitation. Grooming can be sexual, financial, criminal, or Jesus Christ, or emotional.
It's you tonight.
Yes, ideological or emotional. So
Yeah.
it talks about that, and it says the best way to form this would be not every controlling parent is grooming their child, but every form of grooming reduces a child's ability to think, choose, set boundaries independently. The key question isn't whether the parent has influence. Every parent does. The key question is whether the influence is helping the child become more independent or more dependent upon the parent's needs. So, like, So like when you think about the definition of grooming, this definition is letting us know that every action pretty much has a opposite or equal reaction. And grooming, the definition of grooming is a deliberate process of building trust, influence, and dependency to make another person easier to manipulate, exploit, or abuse.
So yeah, essentially they are preparing, but in the same sense, are they manipulating them into the process of being groomed later? So are you grooming to be groomed?
I don't think, again, I think it kind of goes back to our discussion last night. I don't think parents intentionally groom their children.
Okay.
But
so the intention,
we talked about, it's funny because we talked about this backstage last night after the show.
Yeah.
Because Plug was talking about how he would raise a child and what he would show them. And I was like, and that's why I was saying that when you start doing it that way, you're taking away their autonomy. You see what I mean? Like we in today's society, we now try to put all these safe havens in place for our children because we think we're protecting them, but we're actually diminishing who they are. Because without failure, they're never going to learn.
Right.
Like we try to guard our children now and oh baby, you ain't got to live the way I live. You know, I'm gonna make sure you got, but them not getting into the world, now you're just delaying their failure. They might not touch it at 18, but now they're just imagine your 18-year-old staying in your house till they 30 and then experiencing true failure at 30.
That's too far in the game.
You see what I mean?
That's too far in life to be
you're diminishing
your lesson earlier.
You're diminishing their return on their investment. Like they're 30.
That's tough.
You should already have a career and everything. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just, again, is it like the system that kind of gets us in this situation? Like, are we, for yourself, are you a single mom? So you're already in defense mode for your child.
Oh yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So like the system almost puts you into a state of, I have to groom them this way. Not using the word like just grooming, but like I have to shift things. Yeah, I got to prepare. Yeah. So it's deep, right? Like when you start thinking about it, like, that's why I think it's okay to have failures. Like we were talking about it backstage last night, and I was telling Plug and they're like, my dad didn't tell us what to do. Like we just we watched his actions and we followed his actions. You know what I mean? Like we didn't. And then when we learn certain things, you learn from your failures.
So since you watched and wasn't told, essentially what you learned from viewing or you learned from watching and wasn't told. So that was a different way of learning. But do you think that if you're told and you don't see it, that it's a form of, is it being prepared or is it a form of grooming?
No, I think they're trying to prepare you, but you know what's that saying? There's so many sayings in the world, right? Do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
So so that's a form of manipulation.
Yeah.
I got to do things correctly because I watched my father do them correctly.
Okay.
You see what I mean? He never told me do as I say. He showed me by his actions.
By his actions, yeah.
You see what I mean? So like you think about it. It's other ways for you to prepare your child. Let's say you were a great football player and you want your son to follow in those footsteps. What you do, you continue to do workouts. You always have him around. You take him to games. You let him start to decide if this is for him.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like you don't have to push him into it. You just see if he gravitates towards, okay, me and dad are going to all the high school games on Friday night. Like, let me see if my son goes down there and talk to the players after the game. Is he excited as a young kid to get on the field at halftime and throw the ball around with the other kids? You see what I mean? Like your child will slowly show you what their interests are.
Oh yeah.
But you gotta put them
now. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, should you take him to NASA? Little man want to go to space.
Yeah.
that's his thing. You know what I mean? Like he was excited when y'all watched them people not get out of that capsule. Like it was crazy. You know what I mean? So it's one of those. It's one of those things, man. Like it's just very unique. But I mean, I can't tell people how to raise their children, but that was just how we were raised. Like I told you guys on a past episode, I started playing football because I see how supportive my dad was of my brother playing football. So I gravitated to a sport because I wanted that. And hype, and you know, and it was just I was just good at it. I off the whim. But again, it was just like one of those things. So
yeah.
So
all right. Time said they choose to say this woman's name wrong every time. Aaliyah.
They say it's Aaliyah.
Miles said parents also groom their children, debutantes, for example.
The debutantes, for example.
Yeah.
You talking about like the debutante balls and stuff? I'm gonna have to look into that, Miles. Maybe we can talk about that. I'm not like very abreast to it, but I'll definitely research it.
Yeah, I haven't I've heard of them, but I haven't gone deep into like a dang, my mind just went blank real quick. Penny said I ain't had that much caffeine today. I'm trying to slack up on caffeine. Penny said lamb to slaughter offered up on the altar of the music industry.
Oh, it's coming, Penny. Stay tuned.
Louis Bryce said, get out. All right then, Louis. Well, you came in. How about you go? Time said, so I believe Oprah knew what R. Kelly was doing all that time she was in Chicago. Time said, no, a child can't be groomed, especially if her parents are grooming her to be a star to make money. It happened to Gary Coleman, happened to a lot of kids stars. Their parents robbed them.
That's very true, man. You see Raven Simone going through it. She finally shaking back, but
yeah. Time said that's why a lot of kid stars make bad decisions and you get those shows where they are now.
That's very true. Very, very true.
Aaliyah was a victim by her parents and R. Kelly. Those are facts. Miles said that word.
It got me. So I said, so it got me, Miles. It got me, dog.
Yeah. Penny said Aaliyah was only one, though. A lot of parents got paid for R. Kelly to groom and prey on their children, thinking the ends justify the means. So Time said, Souls, I was groomed play the James Evans way. The way my 4 brothers got treated, I got treated the same, even though I was the youngest out of the family. Don't know nothing come easy in life. Thank you, Pops.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Penny said, does competition spawn grooming culture?
Ooh, in what aspect? In what aspect, little Penny? Break it down for me. So I want to answer it like in the correct manner that you asking it first. So break that down for us. All right, I'll definitely give you a response.
Time says Souls, Aaliyah's parents was grooming her to be a singer and a star, and they let her and groomed her to R. Kelly, who groomed her. Has she said anything ugly or nasty about R. Kelly ever?
No, she hasn't.
I don't think so. Muriel said, I had the belief that my children need to find their own way in something like sports. My daughter was playing 8 different sports until she found the ones that were right for her. Yeah.
I agree with you, Mary. I agree with you. Yeah, they'll gravitate to what they want.
Miles said, I couldn't imagine being a parent.
Miles. You don't got no kids, Miles? Miles got no kids?
I don't think he does. Muriel said, and I never missed a game or a match. Good mom. Time says, Souls, my pops told me you were going to fail, but that's the best part of life. You are becoming a man. If you really love something and you're failing, you make it work. Nothing comes easy. Be a go-getter.
That's facts. That's facts.
Yep. Too Tight is in the building. What's up, Too Tight? He said, what's up with it? Penny said, like and subscribe, chat. Yeah, make sure y'all hit the like button and subscribe. Time says, Souls, I don't care what I did great in school. I still had to clean my pop too hard. I still had to clean the fish that he caught. I still had to clean the basement. I'm not a superstar until I get my own.
I feel you, boy. Ooh, cleaning them fish.
Muriel said, I wanted my kids to be in the rodeo and do barrel racing. But they're not interested, but they love riding horses.
Hey, that's a very good sport, that barrel racing, though.
Penny said, High South Black Society, the debutantes. Yeah.
Oh.
Miles said, right. Orlando Brown is a train wreck right now.
He's a train wreck, man, but Orlando Brown making him, I think he's doing that on purpose to be able to tell his truth. Orlando Brown just opened up a whole chicken spot restaurant, doing very well. I don't know about him sometime. I think he running with the play. You got to let us know what you meant. Right? Oh, I think he just did it right there. Okay, cool. Look at that. Perfect time.
He said, does competition culture of today's standards of success, i.e., NBA, NFL, music, etc., push the parents to choose grooming as a necessary way to keep up with white counterparts using a limited vision?
Well, Penny, I'm not going to go the race route, sir. But with that being said, I swear Penny be messy. Because the real reason why I'm not going to use race is because we actually create the sports world. So I think African Americans kind of dominate the sports world. I think the competition of the culture today's standards of success, like the parents push the grooming because of monetary gain. When you think about it now, Penny, your child can go be a millionaire in college. They don't even have to step. They don't even have to step in the NBA anymore to be a millionaire. Like for those who haven't watched my Shreveport News show, I talked about Peyton Houston. He's a quarterback out of our hometown city of Shreveport, Louisiana. A young black man just signed with Nike. He's in the top 50 of high school football players that signed with Nike. He's a millionaire already. His dad created trading cards his sophomore year of high school. Think about that. Like they already knew how good, or they felt they knew how good he was going to be, and they created a trading card that he was already autographing in the 10th grade because of that. So that dude been making money hand over fist. He says Souls wasn't trying to make it about color as much as I got you. I was just being funny, Penny. I'm just being funny. I got you. Tom said, I remember one time I was watching the girls double dutch and hula hoop. I thought my pops was going to hit me upside my head. He said, which one of are you going to marry? Yeah, they used to get you with them little short gym shorts on, huh? Yeah, and that double dutch, they used to get them. Yeah. So, man, as we speak about children, we're going to move on to segment number 3, and we'll be right back with that one.
You're not rocking with the realest podcast in the room. No middleman. Souls, Soft Rain, Uncle Plug, let's go. No middleman.
So here we talk about Usher, Diddy, and Justin Bieber. Grooming or trauma bonding? It's going to be a question posed on the stream while this is playing. Let me put it up so everybody will be able to see it. There we go. So y'all pay attention to that question as well while we play this video.
Signed to a guy named L.A. Reid, this famous music executive. Usher then loses his voice. L.A. Reid wants to help him, get back on track, so he sends him over to this guy named Puff Daddy. And as you can imagine, Usher had a problem. He just didn't know it yet. See, Puff Daddy was this up-and-coming music executive who could really turn someone into a star. He put them through this thing called Flavor Camp. And during Usher's term in this Flavor Camp, he lived with Puff. And in Usher's words, he would see questionable things. He said at any given time, you can open the door and see a bunch of random people playing Netflix. He said he would be up all night partying when all he really wanted to do was go to the studio. And this is when people speculate that Diddy did something to Usher. Now, I need you to listen to me. I'm going to give you the evidence as to why people believe this. But until you hear words from Usher, Diddy, Justin Bieber, nobody knows anything. All right. So Diddy and Usher are in an interview with Kevin Hart. Diddy said, hey, yo, pause. When Usher used to live with me, we used to wrestle for Frosted Flakes. Kevin Hart said, what? Diddy said, and he grabs Kevin Hart and pulls him off camera because Kevin Hart doesn't have a filter. After Diddy's Flavor Camp, Usher comes out with an album called Usher. It has really explicit details about watching Netflix. Everybody's like, nah, this is uncomfortable. And people actually did not like the album because his young voice talking about those details really threw people off. And of course, the album was executively produced by Puff Daddy. His mom was like, yo, what the? So she grabs Usher. You got former bodyguards coming out saying, yeah, Diddy was very inappropriate with Usher. There's a rumor that Usher got sent to the hospital because of an encounter with Diddy. In fact, rumors have been circulating for like 20 years about this situation, which brings us to Usher and Justin Bieber. See, Justin Bieber was coming up in the same way Usher was, like when he was super young. L.A. Reid again found Justin Bieber Usher and Justin Timberlake both wanted to sign Bieber, but Bieber chooses Usher, and Usher basically becomes a mentor. Now, Usher then sends a young Bieber to Diddy for 48 hours. And in this interview, Diddy's saying stuff like, man, Justin is doing things that any 15-year-old would dream of doing. And the thing that's always kind of annoyed me about Diddy personally is he's always towing this imaginary line in interviews. Because of his ego, he has been snitching on himself in interviews. If you listen, he'll say something like, Justin be having a really good time with me. If no one acknowledges it, he'll be like, I can't say too much. You know what I'm saying? But like a really good time. I can't say too much stuff. You feel me? And he'll do this like throughout the whole interview. But here's the thing about Justin Bieber. He's been insanely harassed by the entertainment industry over the years. In fact, Justin Bieber comes out with a song about it where he's not just talking about one person. He's talking about the whole industry. In fact, Justin Bieber starts crying in an interview when Billie Eilish's name is brought up. He says that he wants to protect her and young people in the industry so they won't go through what he went through. And here's where it gets very wicked. Something you got to understand is the music industry is known for being very wicked. We just talked about Billie Eilish, right? Well, somebody got to her too. She eventually tells her brother, and her brother gets the person fired. We're talking about Billie Eilish. Matter of fact, Taylor Swift even came out and said something happened to her too. And I need you to think about that for a second. The industry has the audacity.
So there you have it. You have Usher, Diddy, Justin Bieber. We all know the stories about Justin Bieber. We all have seen him lately in the public eye. Some days he looks great. Some days he looks bad. It all depends on where he's at. So my question for everybody tonight is this situation more grooming or trauma bonding? And then the question on the screen says, if grooming changes the relationship and trauma bonding changes the attachment, can exploitation become so normalized that it feels like loyalty?
Is it really trauma bonding though? Because I say that because Usher coming in, Bieber coming in, they're not bringing trauma with them. They're young. So is Diddy with his trauma? Trying to see where I'm going with this. Is Diddy pushing his trauma or bonding with them over his trauma?
I see what you're saying. But now I'm thinking about, did you watch the Diddy documentary?
Yes, but I don't retain no information for stuff like
Okay. But when you think about Diddy's documentary, right? Diddy was very competitive because he wasn't always considered like the most attractive guy. Remember, he wanted to take the girl that old boy had, the light-skinned dude from the barge.
Yeah.
So like when you think about like the things, the bullying or whatever you want to call it, that Diddy actually experienced, like while he was trying to get his way up into the industry, those things, in my opinion, could create trauma that then you start to pass that trauma down to other people through grooming.
Okay.
You see what I mean? Like his trauma, he turned his trauma into grooming. Like, hey, I know exactly how to get you to the next level. I got all the power now. I got all the power. So this is what I'm going to tell you what to do. Like we all seen it on Making the Band, right? You're going to walk across New York City and give me some cheesecake. Like, yeah. And then you think about all the trauma they went through, right? The Danity Kanes, the what's the boy group name was?
Day 26.
Day 26. Like you think about like the stuff they've been talking about within the last year. All that trauma, all that stuff becoming normalized, and then they feel like it's loyalty almost to a certain extent. Penny answered it. He said he thinks it's mass
loyalty. I think that when people get in positions of power as R. Kelly and as Diddy, that they use that to, I hate to say it, advantage when it comes to people who's seeking stardom. Because a lot of young artists, a lot of young entertainers, or people who want to be in those positions will do almost anything to get in those, to get into on the inside of the entertainment industry to put themselves out there in that way. It's unheard of a lot of times to make your own way. You got to know who you got to know to get in, where you got to get in. And unfortunately, with these music industry gurus and people, these major producers like Dallas Austin and Diddy and R. Kelly and I can't remember. Was it Devontae? It was somebody in that group that held camps where Missy came in, and all those people in the industry, they went through these camps where they were in these places, and all they did was write songs all day long. All they did was sing all day long, and they had to so much of prove their loyalty to that person who was already in the business. It's artist, they called it artist development, but I think it was much more than that.
Yeah.
So it's and in that way they are grooming those people who do want to be in the entertainment industry. So it's Muriel said he's a predator.
So I want us to look at this as well, because I think this is a very good thing. So I'm gonna pull this up on the screen for y'all, right? Because I think this stuff creates a very deep conversation, right? Because a lot of times we don't get the opportunity to like really break things down or talk about them, right? So let's say of course now we know he's a predator, right? But let's think that we didn't know what just came out about Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you take someone who desired so much fame, they wanted so much attention, right? So up here, what I asked was, what is a predator versus an opportunist, right? So it starts giving you the separations of the two. But the thing that starts to stand out, it says a simple way to explain it is an opportunist sees an open door and walks through it. A predator unlocks the door, invites you inside, and closes it behind you. But let's say you take away the word a predator, right? And you just read that as this person unlocks doors, invites you inside, and closes it behind you. That almost would sound like that go-getter, that hustler, that person that they're not looking for an opportunity, they're creating it.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like
words mean everything.
Word means everything. Once we give it a title, it changes the outcome of it. But we hear every day people sounding more like a predator than an opportunist. We just now, and then it says in context of grooming, an opportunist might notice someone is lonely, ambitious, or vulnerable and decide to benefit from that situation. But then it says a predator often spends time identifying your vulnerability, building trust, lowering boundaries, and creating dependence. Grooming is one of the tools a predator may use. And I think that word may use is very important, because when you go back up to an opportunist, it says might notice someone is lonely. So that doesn't mean that person didn't spend time with you to identify that your vulnerability is your loneliness. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the difference in just wordplay there. Like an opportunist might notice someone is lonely. Yeah, but it says a predator often spends time identifying their vulnerability. Who's to say the opportunist didn't spend time identifying your vulnerability of you being lonely from a distance?
Did we talk about this last night? Does predator and grooming go hand in hand?
I think we started to discuss it.
Okay.
But that was going to be the finale series.
Because can you put groomer in the place of a groomer often spends time identifying vulnerability, building trust, lowering boundaries, and creating dependence. That's what a groomer does. So, but it says grooming is one of the tools a predator may use. So yeah.
So it's very unique, right? When you start to really do the word play, it's almost like, could a predator initially come off as an opportunist and then over time build all these things that they figured out about you and then now become more predatorial over you? but it all initiated by becoming the opportunist. Like they took the opportunity to become the predator, become more predatory over you.
Mm.
I don't know.
It's a good conversation.
I don't know.
Good conversation.
Like it's like, I don't know.
Miles said Diddy did more than groom. He did drugs and essay. Time said it's funny how Usher Justin Bieber wasn't in that case that Diddy had.
Yeah, they wouldn't say nothing.
Mm-mm. Penny said got to pay to play, and after you're in, you have to protect the system. Time said I think it's all the above. Lucky Charm. Diddy was doing it all. The answer is trauma bonding, grooming. Lucky Charm was doing it all. Penny said it's the same psychological effects of hazing. Break you down to reinvent you. Same breakdown, we the same now.
Yeah, hazing is big. That's a big one, Lil Penny. You got to go back and watch a lot of our old. So we talked about this a lot when the gentleman passed away in Louisiana at the college at Southern University, and Ricky Smiley and them. So we with the Q's and stuff. We talked about that a while back.
Penny said it isn't our fault for glorifying and valuing the grown and sexy culture, making it our version of success, which makes it what children aspire to do.
That's going to be part 3, Penny, about how our, and we're going to, the last segment tonight is going to kind of start veering us there, but our cultures can sometimes start to groom what we aspire to be. So there's probably a lot of young ladies wanting to be young Miami.
Penny said the closing it behind you gate is keeping
That's
to make it.
That is true.
Penny said the rare opportunity.
Yeah.
Mira said facts. This is wild. I never thought about how much grooming there is in the world, and that there is good grooming and bad grooming.
Yeah. That's what I said. It's like all this stuff matters. Like that's why I said, like, when I and I like to talk about these things, and I know Rain enjoys it too. Like it kind of shows you why I don't so quickly jump on sides. Like I try to really see what this all may consist of. Like we give people titles so quickly today, and man, it damages people long term. It damages them long term. Sometimes we need to see what a person's really about.
Yeah. Miles said essentially the same word, different connotations.
Thank you, Miles. Thank you, Miles.
Penny said opportunist is more based on solo growth and expectations, and grooming is more using others to grow.
Okay.
He said manipulation.
That's the ultimate key. That's the ultimate key. Man, good conversation tonight, y'all, man. So we're going to move into our last segment of tonight, better known as Souls Talk. So here we go. So you have it here on Souls Talks. 21 Savage starts to talk about environmental grooming. I thought this was very interesting, and this is how we're going to close out part 2 before we roll into part 3 next week. That kind of goes more in depth into environmental and cultural grooming and what we're starting to see today, and why we do have a lot of the mentalities and thought processes we have today. Appreciate you, Lil Penny. He said like and subscribe, fam. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So here goes 21 Savage talking to, I think he was talking to Banks. So this is what he said about the Atlanta grooming youth. So here we go.
Really got down. What's the word? Atlanta really a pedophile. Cause Atlanta really groomed us, bro, since we was kids. No, just listen to what I'm saying.
And you see what I mean? Y'all see what he had to do first? Everybody took that word that he used and everybody laughed, but he's like, no, listen to me, because I got to break this down. So
yeah,
it's always good to allow people to finish.
Maybe pedophile the worst word.
What's up, TJ?
Maybe pedophile the wrong word. Atlanta is a grooming ass city.
Okay.
Atlanta groomed us nigga since we was 10, 11, 12 on club life, bro. Like nigga, when I was a lamb nigga on my mama, nigga, I was taking out trash for $2 in apartments. Just to goddamn get some chucks and some dickies to go to the Cater Skate.
Yeah.
getting wristband. Goddamn, nigga, they used to have pictures with no liquor. You just get a picture of Sprite. So your ass getting groomed for the club.
Yeah.
From you goddamn in middle school.
Yeah.
So now when you got down 30, man, nigga, I've been going to the club since I was 11, 12 years old, bro. The club.
Bro, super fun.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Atlanta groomed a nigga, bro. Atlanta is really goddamn. What's the word? Atlanta really a pedophile. Cause Atlanta really groomed us, bro, since we was kids. No, just listen to what I'm saying. Maybe pedophile the worst word.
What's up, TJ?
Maybe pedophile the wrong word. Atlanta is a grooming ass city.
Okay.
Atlanta groomed us nigga since we was 10, 11, 12 on club life, bro. Like nigga, when I was a lamb nigga on my mama, nigga, I was taking out trash for $2 in apartments. Just to goddamn get some chucks and some dickies to go to the Cater Skate.
Yeah.
Getting wristband. Goddamn, nigga, they used to have pictures with no liquor. You just get a picture of Sprite. So your ass getting groomed for the club.
Yeah.
From you goddamn in middle school.
Yeah.
So now when you got down 30, man, nigga, I've been going to the club since I was 11, 12 years old, bro. The club.
So there you have it, man. 21 Savage starts to talk about environmental grooming. And I think a lot of times things can go over our heads, or a lot of times we don't think about things because it's just the norm. But I remember in my city, which I'll cover this on my Sunday show, one of these Sundays. I remember when Shreveport, Louisiana started to try to open up 18 and under clubs. We had a club called Station 1. We had another club called the Mansion, and these clubs were in Highland and somewhere else. And I'm telling you, they didn't last over 6 months. It was deadly shootings, and this shootings.
Wow.
Shootings. You see what I mean? Like I remember very vividly, you know, we wanted to go. You know what I mean? We wanted to go to the club. You know what I mean? You want to go because everybody's talking about the Mansion. Everybody talking about Station 1, bro. Station 1 pumping, man. It's on North Market. You know what I mean?
Ours was called though.
What y'all was called?
The Back Door.
You need to cover it on your show. I'm telling you, find some old articles of it, because every city, I think, tried it in their own way. But like ours was so deadly that it didn't last. Like, and just imagine thinking about 15, 16, 17-year-olds worrying about getting killed at a teen club.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like,
we didn't have any shootings or anything. It was, I don't even think we had like any fights on the inside. They didn't play that there. Because it was on the back side of like a family entertainment complex. They called it the Back Door because it was the back door. You had to go up these steps to get to it. It was on the back side there. So we really didn't have. I'm not gonna say we didn't have teen violence in the city that I'm from, but I felt safe enough to go there whenever I was a teenager too. So and the community dances that they had at the recreation centers on Saturday night sometimes too. So thank you, Miss Mario, for the 10 gems.
Yeah, I don't know how this stuff works, but we appreciate you for the 10 gems tonight.
You can turn it into revenue later on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you get with YouTube, and they convert it to revenue later on. I don't know how it like goes down, but that's how it goes down. Somewhere along in there.
Okay. Let me see here. You can keep going. I'm trying to look up, see if I can find it, like the news article about it.
About yours, yeah.
About the clubs, because it was like early 2000.
And I know 21 Savage blamed it on the city, right? The environment within the city, but too, we have to blame it on our households too as well, right? What our households allow. Oh, so I'm allowing my 11 or 12-year-old to go to but the skate center is different, you know what I'm saying? And they did produce the environment of the club in there. You know, you drink, like he said, pictures of Sprite. You know, there was no alcohol involved, but it's sort of like a mini club for young folk, really. Because they was in there skating, dancing, and carrying on, you know, having a good time. And but that's what we do in clubs as adults as well. But we got alcohol involved.
Yeah.
You know, so it's different in that sense. But I think it starts at home too. It starts at home. Yes, our environment outside of the house can shape us, but our core is at the house. What our parents allow and what we do, what our parents show us how life is, and what we do as adults, really affects our children as well.
Man, I'm gonna have to find it for the show. I think it's right here. Because like back in 2008, it said it was supposed to be a hangout for teenagers, but after a series of run-ins with the law in downtown Shreveport nightclub, we had another one called the Hot Spot is being forced to close its doors. I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna bring it to y'all for my show. But like we grew up and like all this stuff happened. Like, but you don't think about it, right? Like he even said, instead of pictures of liquor or bottles, you could take pictures of Sprite. You know what I mean? Like
Sprite.
they're already kind of telling you, hey, go buy out the club, go buy a bottle. You know what I mean? This is what life looks like. This is what popping looks like. And it's just very, very interesting, man, because I never really looked at grooming so deeply until I started doing a lot of research on it. And like so much is going on behind the scenes. And that's why I said we do have to learn the systems, because those are other small experiments, right? Because for anybody who knows my city, the white lawmakers didn't let us get too much in the city, but they let that happen. You see what I mean? And we talk about the experiments of like, killing off the certain races and stuff. They were letting you almost divide your cells. They knew what was going to happen. You know what I mean? Like it was like, that was like crazy work. You know what I mean? So just crazy, man.
Tom says 21 Savage, that's called work. That's so you can stay off the street and go to school. Welcome to America. Get a book bag. He also said, wow, is 21 Savage sure it's not the adults that live in Atlanta that groomed him, because he could have stayed in London where he is from? I don't want to sound like 47, but now you are complaining.
Hey, 6ix9ine said the same thing.
Penny said 21 hit it in the head, but the system structuring youth minds and becoming an institution through social norms. And it's crazy because we do this, but you can't do it positively to make doctors and lawyers.
I tell you, Penny hit it on the head. I tell you.
Tom said, souls, maybe I lived in a different world because outside had no effect on me when I got out there. Mira said, our under 18 clubs were our under 18 clubs were awesome, and it was safe because of the area and they had a lot of security. Yeah, the back door. Miles says something is definitely an ATL drinking water. ATL's a different place. Classic said, are we saying that there is something wrong with this?
Which part, Classic? Which part?
Tom said, Rain, it's not the city, it's the household. I thank God every day for my pops. Yeah. Hey, Ruth said, bad home training and upbringing and ego tripping. Penny said, time, facts. Tom said, my favorite Cosby episode is when Bill Cosby was talking to Theo, and Theo had that money in his hand, and he said, are you going to have a girlfriend? And took all of the money. Classic skip episode. Tom says, so our friends can groom us too. So that isn't called peer pressure anymore. That is called grooming pressure.
Gotcha.
Classic said, clubs are often ruined by a couple of bad apples come with the territory.
Gotcha. I see.
Okay. He said the teen clubs grooming people for adult clubs. I don't know. That is all. I don't know that it's a bad thing. I understand why it's worth conversation. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. And I think 21 brought. I think for 21 saying it probably would come off hard for a lot of people to try to embrace it, because he also produces music that glorifies that world too.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of hard for him. Maybe he's not the right messenger for it. But like you are, but that is true when it comes to it only took a few bad apples in our city to close all. We had 3 nightclubs: the Spot, the Mansion, and Station 1. And they all got shut down like within like some months, because just it was a lot of killings. Like it was just a lot of killings. But But again, our teen clubs was a replica of our adult clubs. Like, so everybody know we had the historical club there in Shreveport, Louisiana, that was called Coco Pellis. It was a 3-story club. Every one of your favorite artists have performed at Coco Pellis. But Coco Pellis was known for, like, if you want to get somebody or you want to catch somebody, like, because it was just different. Like, it was different. Like, so it was a lot of killings, a lot of stabbings within Coco Pellis. And a lot of people don't know this, but when you're inside a club, the law doesn't have the same jurisdiction inside that club than outside. So people used to do a lot of things inside of Coco Pellis, and then it could filter outside, but they don't know what's going on.
Is it because it's private property almost?
Yeah. The white man that bought Coco Pellis, and it was actually a white man that owned it. He was like a millionaire in the city. That's what, for everybody who know Bebe, he's a huge radio person in Dallas. You probably see him everywhere on social media and stuff. That's where he originated from. He's from Shreveport, but he started out all his DJing in Coco Pellis, him, 3 Feet, Bebe, all that stuff, and then he came up here to Texas. So, but yeah, I just wanted to play that video because next week when we do part 3 of grooming, we will be speaking about more environmental and social and like societal grooming. So I just wanted to be able to play something to kind of get your guys' heads wrapped around the whole grooming process and how it looks in different areas. Penny said club draw division between have and have nots. If you wasn't in a skating rink where all the fine girls were, our skating rink was pretty. We had a bunch of. We had Crystal Palace, we had Hot Wheels, and then we still got the one that's in Bossier. I forgot the name of that one. But yeah, skating rinks was where it's at, man.
Yeah,
yeah,
that too.
But even there, it was a lot of fast kids in there. They were fast. When them lights get low out there, boy, them little kids fast, boy. For real, because like my daughter loves going to skating rinks. So like being a parent, taking your child, you be like, ooh, like I couldn't believe people would leave their child there and come pick them up. Like my daughter knew daddy's sitting right here at this table. Hey, you can go skate. I can't leave you here by yourself. Because I already see them little stanky boys, and I don't trust you either. Even though I felt like I raised you right, hey, I'm gonna keep my eye on you. You know what I mean? Until I can't. So, you got anything for them? We appreciate y'all tonight, man. Great chat tonight. We appreciate all the new people who came in. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Even if you're watching it on the Raw Society side as well, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you, Rain, man, for being present and accounted for tonight. Tune in tomorrow night, guys. Me and Rain will be doing our part 2.
Yes.
Playback and perspectives with we're talking about this TV show on Netflix, Polygamous. Man, we're doing episode 4 through 6?
4, 5, and 6. Yeah.
4, 5, and 6, man. So y'all tune in for that tomorrow night. Yeah. How far have you gotten though?
Oh, I'm on I think 10 now.
All right, now we might have to do 2 this week now. Hey, it's getting good. It's getting good.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm still, I mean, wifing them too, but because at first, I will say this. At first, I was confused when we first did the first 3 episodes because I stopped at 3 episodes, and I was like, polygamous. Well, it's just a little bit of infidelity. It's not polygamy yet. So it's evolving into that.
Yes,
so
y'all
I would love to read the book too, because the books are more detailed than what because when I was a teenager coming up, I did read How Stella Got Her Groove Back. I did read Waiting to Exhale, and those books are the book is always more detailed than what we see on screen. So I would love to read the book because I know it's Time said, Mom took us to the skating rink. Pops used to take us on field trips. We used to do things as a family. That's what I miss most about it as a kid, and definitely giving to my kids today. Absolutely. Yeah. So,
Rain, I'll let you close us out, man. Unless you got anything. You got anything else coming up this week that you need to share with everybody?
Not set in stone.
Okay.
But possibly doing something on Thursday.
See? Mariel said, I'm on 17, let go.
Hey, Mariel just up and past me.
Mariel, she's slacking. She's slacking, Mariel.
I gotta wait till A Boogie,
okay,
be in his room occupied, or put my headphones on or watch from my phone, or because scenes in there that'll say, hey, wait a minute. But yeah, so I gotta monitor when I do that, type deal.
I understand.
But yeah, that's it Thursday. And then I might bring in, I'm still contemplating on doing a Nolan Wells special radar investigates, just compiling everything that went down with the funeral and afterwards and whatnot. So I might bring that in. I don't know, y'all, maybe. And of course on Sundays I always tap in for the weekly rain report. So, and the time keep changing on that because I'm being a busy mama. Yes. And prayers going out to his family. That was difficult yesterday, having to lay him to rest. I got my personal opinions on the funeral, but hopefully soon they'll get some closure. That's what I'm praying for mostly, just closure.
She waiting on you.
Okay, I got you, Mariel. I got you. I got you, Mariel. So that's how we do it here on No Middleman, real conversations, raw perspectives, and no filter. Shout out to everybody who pulled up and added to the conversation tonight, whether you agree, disagree, or got your feelings challenged. We always appreciate you being here as part of the dialogue. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and share the stream with somebody who is not afraid of real conversation. And don't forget to, if you're catching this on the rewatch, make sure you leave your comments down your thoughts down in the comment section so we can talk back to you. So until next time, for Souls and Uncle Plug, we see you, Uncle Plug. Hey, Uncle Plug, and your girl, Soft Frame. We are signing off. And remember, the truth don't need a middleman.
Yeah. No middleman. This ain't about one name. This is about the system. Listen, everybody points a finger at the face that they can see. But nobody asks who planted all the roots beneath the tree. Fame got a price, every contract got a fee. Sometimes what you sacrifice is who you used to be. Before the cameras, there was pressure. Before the labels, there was hunger. Before the spotlight found your talent, something else was shaping your wonder. Neighborhoods can raise a king, neighborhoods can build a cage. Every lesson that we learn eventually walks onto the stage. Some are groomed by people, some are groomed by pain, some are groomed by chasing status, some by trying to escape the rain. The industry is watching, the environment's talking. Every choice that you make, every road that you're walking, success got a price. Tell me, what did you pay? Did you climb to the top or lose yourself on the way? Who taught you that money meant freedom? Who taught you attention was love? Who whispered you'll finally matter when the applause started showing up? 21 said the city can shape you, teach you survival before it teaches peace. When the streets become your classroom, some lessons never leave. The block can groom, the culture can groom, social media can groom, even the living room. Patterns become normal until nobody questions why. When dysfunction feels familiar, healthy starts to feel like a lie. We're not here to cancel people, we're here to understand. Because if you never study the process, you'll never break the plan. Power don't always force you, sometimes it invites you in. Sometimes it smiles while changing what you believe within. The industry's watching. Yeah. This ain't no handouts, no shortcuts, no middleman. 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 I get it direct. Pressure talk, I don't deal in the flex. Cut the line, I don't wait, I collect. If it's mine, I'ma claim my respect. No middleman, I move with intent. Boss moves only, every dollar was spent. No favors, no deals, no rent. Built from the ground, now the whole game bent. Started with a vision, had to cut the distractions. No handshakes, just results and reactions. They was talking plays, I was making it happen. Turn losses to losses, then flipped it to passion.